Yeah, it's one of those days when you're working by the back door light. Yeah, because I've got a new rule now that I'm working on. Yeah, by the way, I've got this new sort of shade netting fly wire sort of thing. I cut myself a disc. I'm just making myself some spaces so I can actually try and put a like triangular sections into the bucket, because I'm thinking I haven't got enough coil left. I've only got that's enough to do like a section down the side wall of the bucket. So I'll probably start off with that. And peat, yes, it's so expensive. You know, you only basically get 2 litres in a bag these days. You know, because it's all dry. You know, when it's wettened up, you know, it's sort of yeah. Anyway, and I'm working out the bag here because it's so dusty. I'll show you later on in another clip. They've cut down those 2 trees there, and I believe someone turned up. I think it must have been the site manager later on. And he's talking about a significant tree. I think they cut it down by accident. I think it's going to be hell to pay, because I overheard things like, you know, I built that house over there, so and so blah, blah, built that one over there and actually lived in it. Yeah, so he actually built his own house. He was, working in the building industry. Not only did he build the house, he actually went to live in this other house over there he was pointing to, sort of thing. So yeah, the idea is to do this, and then basically just get out of the way, you little ant, you get stuck. And do that like that. And basically I'm just making a copy of this, so it's basically like that, firmed up, and then I'm going to join the 2 together, sort of thing. And maybe I should be on spot colour. Yeah, so the idea is, you know, when it's bright and sunny, it's 3 notches right, 3 notches down darkness. When it's overcast, you know, casting no shadows or thing, it's 2 notches down in darkness, and therefore 2 notches right. So I assume at the end of the day, when it's getting dull and I only notch down to 1 notch, it'll be like 1 notch right in the colour grid. How does this relate to? The nighttime settings, which I normally go 3 left, 2 down. I'm assuming the 2 down is going to stay the same, because, as I said, but normally I notch down 4 notches down or something like that. So maybe when I'm notching 4 notches down for the brightness of the summer, I should actually be 4 notches left and 2 notches down for the nighttime setting. So yeah, I don't know. Just an idea, fellas. Just sort of. Putting that, have I done it the same way? No. Does it matter? Probably not. I've done it a slightly different way. Okay. I think I'm making it easier for myself. My mind's obviously, well, this is easier than doing the way you did it before. I'm just gas bagging too much. Anyway, so I'll put it down like that, and there. It's just to hold this thing in place, sort of thing. Yeah, hold it so these 3 boards become somewhat solid. Yeah, somewhat, not quite the best, but it's just so it holds. I can put sand down in it. You know, sort of. So I get my bucket now, and I'm going to sort of get it like a triangle, and I'm either going to, I don't know, are we actually. I don't know where the camera's pointing up, but for the viewfinder, yeah. So you know, it's going to be something like that. So I put my sand down there, because sand either, and then I put my potatoes down, and I put my bark chip there, or it's going to be peat, or it's going to be coir, or something else. We find something that's better than bark chip or something. So it's just a way of getting it sort of in there, sort of thing. Well, I was thinking of just putting a handful there, a handful there, a handful there, and doing another hand, and I thought, well, that could work, but it blurs the edges a bit, and also it's a lot more work, because you keep going sand, and you got to go to another thing, and you got to go to another thing, and it's not like Henry Ford thing. It's best to do the one thing sort of thing. Anyway, so next stage is to join these 2 together. And maybe it's better to actually join them together on the other side. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll see, fellas. And we'll give her a good, maybe we need to give her a good whack on both sides, I think. So, do it like that. But also, then turn her over. Fuzzy tape. Best laid plans, as they say. Oh, it's tearing. Okay, it was a nice idea at the time. It's Heath Robertson, fellas. It just has to work, and it doesn't have to work for too long. You know, 3 or 4 goes, we get the idea of what's going on. And yeah, I need to cut that because it won't be able to bend right now. Okay, that's all there. John's laughing his head off. He says, "I've got a tool for that." Richard, you are the tool. The conduit of change. Okay, so which way are we going, fellas? Yeah, better than, in a way, better than I want. Yeah, I think we're going to go. I think we're sort of there, fellas. Maybe I need a different coloured bucket. Yeah. Maybe you want to do it on the cheap. You can use 2 messenger newspapers and just hold them there, or put a bit. Maybe that was the better way. I could have done that. But anyway, so you find your area 90 degrees or whatever you want to do. Maybe you want to make it a little bit better. What is the angle on 3? It's a third of 360, isn't it? Yeah, 180 is that. 280 is yeah. It's 360, so it's a third of 360, so that's a third of 300 and a third of 60, so that's 20 plus 100, so it's 120. So the angle we want is not 90 degrees, we want 120, so about that. Okay, so there we go. That will be a lot easier to do, I reckon. Yeah. I'll give you a spot, Cullen. And also helps with see if the colours changes on it. So basically, that's the idea. So you put your. It's probably easier to do one section first, and if you choose the right section, it will allow you to you'll be able to move your section back and change it, sort of thing, or whatever you want to do. And you sort of move it around. So you've done your section, and then you can move it around like that and do your other sections fairly easily. If you choose, you know, I mean, if you do sand, yes, it'll mould well, but when you take this out, it might start falling apart. So we already know that newspaper cellulose is quite stable once you've made the shape. So maybe start off with newspaper cellulose, and then go to doing, you know, your coir or your peat. And once you've got your newspaper cellulose and your coir, the sand. The void is already there for you. You just pop your sand in, you just, you know, put it down, lightly tamp it, and keep filling all the way up, and you're done. So that's what we're probably going to do. Okay, might do that now actually, rather, because I was going to make up a new formula, but maybe I should do this now. Keep the clips in order, sort of thing. Okay, over and out. See ya.